Love the content but hate the ads? Join the Your Journey Yoga membership for ad-free yoga and meditation videos. Your first month is just $1. Visit yourjourneyyoga.com to sign up now. Hi friends, welcome back to Your Journey Yoga. My name is Natalia and I am here as your guide and your companion on your journey with yoga. Today we have episode number 2 of the Oracle Yoga and Meditation series. In these videos, I pull a random oracle card, offer a channeled message, and then we have a yoga flow and a meditation themed around whatever message it is that comes through the oracle card. So, without further ado, let's get our message. What wants to come through today? This is one of my favorite cards. This is the Between Worlds card. I will share a link below that will bring you to a blog post on my website that offers a picture of this card and an explanation. But the gist of this Between the Worlds card is one of transition. When we are moving from one way of being into another, when we are moving from one chapter of life into a new one. There is an essence of trusting the process with this card. There is also a message from Spirit about releasing expectation as we transition from what was into what will be. We have a tendency as humans to really get attached to and really long for certainty. We want to know what's going to happen. We want to know how things are going to look, how they're going to feel, what people are going to be involved in the process. And we grasp. And what we forget so often is that when we grasp for things to look a certain way, we don't create space for the fullness of the blessings and the new opportunities that really want to reach us. And so as we transition out of one cycle and into a new one, it's really important to let go of what was, to keep our hearts and our minds open to what could be without getting too attached to form, leaning a little bit more into the essence of what it is that we want to welcome in, rather than needing it to look a certain way or happen on a certain timeline. So, without further ado, let's jump into our practice. We're going to begin today's practice standing at the top of our mats. So, come on up to the top of your mat. Bring your feet about hips distance apart. Anchor down into all four corners of both of your feet. Engage your quads, lift your kneecaps, open up through your chest. Maybe you lift your chin, stand nice and tall and open here. And take a deep inhale in. And a cleansing exhale out. Inhale, arms reach up high. Exhale, bend over to the left side. Inhale through center. And exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, cactus, open the heart. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to land in a ragdoll pose here. So if you want to bring your feet a little bit wider than hips distance, you can. You want to take a bind in the arms, that's an option. More than anything else here, though, I really want you to relax the muscles of your neck and allow the crown of your head to be heavy. So in this practice, in tandem with the transition message of this card, I really want us to focus on not what we do, but how we do it. So as we transition through poses, I want you to be really mindful of how it is that you move in between each pose. That doesn't mean it needs to look a certain way. I just want to invite a little bit of curiosity for what happens in between each pose. So just planting that seed here take one more round of breath in your ragdoll pose. And come on back to center, hands to your shins or your thighs as you lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Roll up through your spine. Arms reach up high. And then bring your hands down to heart center. Samasthiti. You might bring your feet in a little bit closer to center here. And we're going to anchor down through our right foot, nice and strong in that right leg, and start to capture your left knee. So we're going to hug the knee up towards the chest, elbows come off to the sides, open up through your heart, find a place in front of you to focus. And I want you to also think about how can your core, your center, support you here? How can you stay connected to your center? Maybe you draw the low belly up and in. Maybe you bring your focus to your midline. And you can draw circles with your ankle, open and close your toes here. Nice. Go ahead and release the knee. Keep it up in the air as you reach your arms high. And as you exhale, bring that left foot down. Hands come down by your sides. Actually bring them to your heart center. We're going to anchor through the left foot this time. Capture the right knee. Same thing, hugging the knee up towards the chest. Stand nice and tall, heart open, elbows wide to the side. Find a focal point. How can your core support you? How can you be centered? Building that connection now. Maybe move your ankle, move your toes. Take another round of breath here. And then we're going to release that foot down. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. And we're going to send that right leg behind us. So we're in a little standing splits here, fingertips on the earth. Square those right toes down towards the mat. Lengthen out through your right heel. Deep inhale in. Now, think about this transition. We're going to step that right foot back into a lunge. So how do you want to move? Do you want to move slowly, smoothly, with control? Maybe you give it a couple tries. Maybe you even push back up to that standing splits and try again. Once you land in your lunge, find a stance in the feet that feels really supportive. Get your hips in alignment with each other, strong in your legs. Press into your feet and use your core to rise up to your crescent. And then go ahead and check in when you get here as well. Can you get your hips really centered? Draw that low belly up and in. Arms reach overhead, but stay soft in your shoulders, strong in both of your legs. Deep inhale in here. Exhale, airplane arms and torso. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, corkscrew to the left. Inhale, back to crescent. Exhale, pivot that right foot down to the mat, warrior one. Stay nice and strong in that back leg here. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, we're going to swoop that right arm back, left fingertips down by the left ankle, right arm high, open through your heart. Inhale and exhale here. And then we're going to transition to a lunge twist. So again, be intentional with how you move here as we plant the right palm, pivot the back toes forward and reach the left arm up. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, close that left hand down. We're going to press off that back foot to that standing splits again. Take an inhale here. Exhale, right foot meets left. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach high. Exhale, hands to heart, Samastihiti. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, Tadasana. Come to stand wide on your mat. We're going to come into Prasarita. So, legs open up wide, toes turn in just slightly here. Inhale, reach the arms high, take up space. Exhale, float the arms down. Inhale, reach it high. Exhale, hinge at your hips, start to fold forward. One round of breath here in Prasarita. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. And exhale, fold. One more time, lift halfway. Turn to the back of your mat, finding your low lunge. Step the back foot to the top, finding your half lift. And let it go. Root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana, facing the back of the mat. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale here. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And we're going to bring that left foot behind us now, standing splits. Square those left toes down towards the mat. Take a deep inhale. Think about how you want to transition to those low lunge legs, stepping that left foot back. And again, if you want to play with it a couple times, you can press back up. Try landing maybe a different way. And once you find yourself in your low lunge, create a good stance in your feet and your legs that feels supportive for you. Hips are in alignment, legs are strong, spine is long, core is engaged. Press into your feet as you rise up, crescent lunge. Take your time, check in when you get here. Hips are centered. Arms are high, shoulders are soft. Deep inhale here. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, rise. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, rise. Pivot that back foot down to the earth, warrior one. Nice and strong in that back leg. Inhaling here. Exhale, swoop the left arm back, right fingertips reach down towards the earth, left fingertips reach to the sky. Head and neck are an extension of the spine here. Good. Now, another transition here as we come into our lunge twist. So move intentionally, left palm plants, back toes pivot forward, right arm reaches high. One round of breath here. And then close that right hand down. Press off your back foot back to that standing splits. Take a round of breath here. And then left foot meets the right, find a half lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. Come to stand wide on your mat again. We're going to bring our hands to our hips, open up through the heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips, start to fold forward. This time in Prasarita, a few options. You could interlace the fingers behind your back, let your knuckles come up overhead, opening through the shoulders. You could take some twists or find movement. Again, give yourself the opportunity to be curious about these little in-between moments. The little things that happen as we move between each pose. How can we value the space between? One more round of breath here. whatever variation you're in. Start to come on back to center, bringing your hands under your face as you lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway. Start to toe heel your feet in, bringing the feet together, really together here. Inhale, find that flat back. Come up onto your toes and start to bend through your knees, coming into a little ball. So this is where we're going to start. Getting a stretch in the back of the neck, stretch in the back body. Now, connect with your center for this next transition. We're going to bring the arches of the feet together, knees wide. Option number 1 here. Maybe this is where you stay. Or you can draw your low belly in, connect with your center, and bring the hands off of the earth. They can either come to the heart, or they could come off to the side in a mudra. Option to play around with your gaze. Give yourself permission to fall out of it and come back in. That is how we learn. That is how we get stronger. Couple more breaths here. And we're going to transition to the earth. So maybe you play around with bringing the knees together without touching the ground. And then hands can come down to the mat. Lower into a seat. You can send the legs out long, maybe wiggle them a little bit. And then we're going to come into Sukhasana. Or if you want to sit on your knees, you can. If you want to sit up on a block, you can, or a pillow. And we're going to start to come into the meditative portion of our practice together. So if you need to take a moment and pause the video to find the support you need, to make the adjustments you need, feel free to do that. And as you begin to settle into, transition into this part of practice, close your eyes. Relax the muscles of your face. Let your shoulders be soft, arms heavy. Spine is nice and long. Notice how it feels to transition into stillness. Are there any resistances that come up for you as you enter into this part of practice? Sometimes physical resistance to meditation could look like fidgeting, adjusting, scratching an itch, holding tension somewhere. Could also be mental resistances, emotional resistances. Maybe the mind started to pick up a bunch of thoughts and stories. Just notice anything that's coming up for you somatically, physically. Anything that's coming up for you spiritually, emotionally, energetically. Acknowledging the resistances and remembering that you have the power to choose how you respond. You get to decide how you respond to your own resistances, to your own urges. And my encouragement is to simply meet yourself with compassion and love and patience. Allow your awareness to also connect more deeply with your breath. Connecting the coolness of your inhales, maybe up into the space of your third eye. Feeling the coolness of your inhales traveling towards the front of your head, between your brow. If it feels helpful to even out your inhales and your exhales, you can do that. Or maybe you just simply receive the breath, notice the breath as it is. Whatever feels most helpful. If there are any sounds, things happening in the space around you, open up a little bit of acceptance for all of that as well. Open up entirely to the fullness of your experience in the here and now. Really allow yourself to ground and be here. We hear so often in yoga and meditation practices you hear a lot about presence. Be present, be in the now. What does that really mean to you? What does it feel like to really be present, to really be soaking up the moment? How does being present help you in the inevitable shifts and changes and transitions of life? We can try to predict. We can set expectations. We can worry and ruminate about what may lie ahead for us. But that takes us out of the present moment. That keeps us from being with what is now. And so the funny thing about overthinking, we think that if we plan and we expect that we'll better be able to handle what comes our way. But how can we truly be with what comes our way if we aren't present? What if the best thing we can do for ourselves is taking things as they come? Each transition, each moment, each breath, being fully, fully present so that as the change unfolds, we are connected to our center. We are connected to our intuition, to our higher knowing. That is how we can be best prepared for any transition that happens in our life, I think. So take a moment here to sit with this, to contemplate maybe ways that you could be more present with the transitions and the moments of life as they unfold. How does that feel for you? What practices are involved with that? How does that feel to be your most present and grounded self? To be present is to let go of our expectations and to surrender and melt into the essence of now. Continue to just be for a few more moments here. As you're ready, you can begin to move the body in small ways. You can deepen the breath. Very slowly begin to blink the eyes open. And we'll bring our hands together at heart center. I hope that whatever transitions are occurring in your life, whatever changes life brings your way, that you find a way to stay really connected to yourself, to your heart's knowing, to your higher knowing. Trust in your ability to take things as they come. And know that there are tools out there and within you that can help you navigate whatever it is that arises. I've got your back. This practice has your back. I'm sending you so much love. And I will see you in the next practice. Namaste.